This is all looking really good into this deck. Welcome back, crew. We are covering part 2 of the OP12 leaders today. Now, if you haven't checked out my last video, please do. In the last one, we check out the leaders of Kuzan, Koala, and Rosinante. All very interesting leaders in their own right. They have a great spin on the way the game is played. I do recommend you check them out. The aim of the video is really an introduction into all of the leaders, how they operate. So whether you are wanting to take them on as your own leader and push them through into the OP12 meta, or whether you just want to understand them so you can better play against them. This is what this video is trying to cover, is the way these decks are trying to operate, just to help you get started with or against these decks. So the leaders I'm going to cover today, they are in the description below. There's going to be a fair bit in that description. So we're going to be covering Silvers, Rayleigh Silvers. We're going to be covering Sanji and also Zoro. Now, I have a deck list for each in the description. Please find the one that you are looking to play. I do recommend playing every single leader from OP12 just to get a better feel for how they play. You don't have to play them much after that, but just to get a feel of how they play and what they're trying to do. So let's first cover Rayleigh Silver. Rayleigh Silver, he is a mono red. Now, he's a very interesting one. At first, he seems like a dud of a leader, and when he was first revealed, that's what everyone thought. But he's actually one of the meta leaders. He's a very strong leader in his own right. He has an effect. You cannot have cards with a cost of 5 or greater in your deck, according to the rules. Huge disadvantage, and this is the reason why no one thought he'd be any good. I thought, now, if they give him a great card supply that makes him good, this could be bad in the future when they drop Roger, because maybe those cards would benefit that deck more, but that's not the case. Roger is going to be a very different leader to Silvers. I guarantee that. If you haven't seen Roger, check it out after this video, because that thing is horrendous. Anyway, Rayleigh Silver, his activate main once per turn. You may reveal 2 event cards from your hand. Easy cost to hit with this deck. Give up to one of your characters with a base power of 4,000 or less, 2,000 power for this turn. Meaning, if we play a lot of searches, we can bump them up to 2,000. This is like a weak version of Zoro, Red Zoro, Mono Zoro. But he is playing a very different game to that Zoro. And it's around the events that really strengthen him out. So we have a couple of events which are exclusive to Rayleigh, pretty much. We have Observation Haki, Conqueror's Haki, and you guessed it, Armament Haki. Now, they all do different things. They all cost 0. So this one here, for instance, it's got a main effect and a counter effect. You may attach 1 active Don card to your Silver's Rayleigh, meaning it costs 0, but you still need 1 active Don. Then you give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 1,000 for the turn. Okay, so it's okay as a main, and as a counter, you give one of your characters or Silver Rayleigh, being leader, 2,000 power for this battle. 0 for 2 isn't bad. It's pretty good. Like, it's essentially a counter card. But it's a counter card that works with your leader. So you can use this to then buff up another character, but you also have the versatility of being able to buff an extra 1,000 power out of nowhere. It's okay. It's okay. This one here is, it's Conquerors, so it's going to be the best one, isn't it? Give up to one of your characters or Silver's Rayleigh plus 2000 power during this battle. So it is a counter card. It's on their turn, on opponent's turn. Then you may rest one of your dons. So you need an extra don for this card. If you did, give all of your opponent's characters and leader minus 1000 power during this turn. This is a very strong counter card. Because if you think about this, if you use two of these, the first one, you use one don, you get basically a plus 3000 effect against that character that's attacking into you, but you get a -1 effect across the board. So the next character that attacks into you has one less effect onto you. So if they're trying to go wide on you, you play this down and it, hits the whole board. You play a second one of these and it hits the board again. And all of a sudden where they thought they could attack 5 into you, now they've only been able to attack 2 and they were both counted out and they need to rethink their whole plan. So very strong card in this one. Now we also have Observation Haki. This one, it is a main, so it's on your turn. You attach one active don to your leader and you get to search the top 4 of your deck. Top 4 of your deck for a red event card or up to 1 cost 3 or greater character card. Pretty good. That's pretty much everything in our deck, bar these 3. Yes, bar those 3. So pretty good stuff here. And the other one that I really do like is this one here. It does have that 0 cost, you gain 2000 power again. So there's a lot of cards here where you can just get 2000 power for 0 cost. Really great on the defense. This one also has a very great offensive power that you may give 2 active Don cards to your Rayleigh Silver, and your opponent cannot activate blocker if that leader or character attacks. So whoever you give that Don to, if they attack, your opponent can't activate a blocker against it. Really great finisher. Seeing more and more of these get past the blocker cards. So very interesting way to play, particularly when you're coming from the OP11 meta where everyone's putting up these chump blockers. Now all of a sudden the chump blockers aren't worth as much. So some core cards of this deck, because we can't play anything that are higher than a 4 cost, we got this Luffy, and I feel like this Luffy is geared to this deck. If you have 2 or more attached Don cards on the field, this character gains 2000 power. So it doesn't have to be attached to him, it can be attached anywhere. Gains 2000 power, bringing it to 6000 power. Pretty good. And on play, you may reveal 2 event cards, just like your leader does. From your hand, play up to 1 red character with a power of 3000 or less, which most of them are. From your hand, then give up to 1 rested Don card to your leader or one of your characters. So, if you can chain this card, the second one will benefit the first one. Pretty cool stuff. Very strong, but it's showing you how you're basically getting these power buffs. You're going for power buffs in this deck. This one here does it. This does it when they have low life. This one here, it gives cards to other characters. This one's got that, 3000 power buff. Basically, your cards here are all trying to get more than what they're worth. They're all these really good stuff cards that are getting more than what they're worth, and you can buff them up anyway. So you've got these really strong low-cost attackers paired with really good defense. I feel like this deck encapsulates what One Piece is all about, and that is the balance of oppressive power versus defensive power and trying to understand that balance. I think if you know someone that is entering the game in OP12, I think this is the deck that is going to be really good for them because it's going to give them a good grasp on the game. It is also a meta deck, so it is something that is going to be able to push past weaker decks and give a sense of feeling of accomplishment, but also it's one that you're not going to invest a lot of time in and get nothing back, because it is something that you can work towards and bring to your first tournament. Or if you're a seasoned veteran, you can still play this deck and perform very well with it. Very strong deck in general. I'm not a red player really at all, but I think out of all of the red decks that I've seen, this is probably my favorite. Mono red, that is. I do like a mix of colors, and I don't mind splashing red in that mix, but as a mono red, this is probably the first mono red deck I've somewhat enjoyed. Let's go into the next one. All right, the next one we've got is none other than this mono green Zoro. And if you haven't seen any OP12, you need to know this is going to be the best deck in the format, most likely. I mean, the only contenders with it really are the ones from OP11. You're looking at the green purple Luffy, the blue purple Luffy, I think, and I guess Betty. I don't think Betty is going to stand a chance against this deck, but this deck is a really strong deck. So let me talk about what this leader does. Don times 3. Yes, 3 sword style. Don times 3. Activate main. If this leader has battled your opponent's characters during this turn, set this leader as active. Then this card cannot attack characters with an original cost of 7 or less during this turn. Pretty cool stuff. Basically attack a character and a leader in one turn. So, and loading it with Don. So you're swinging 8. You're going to be taking a life from your opponent, or they're going to be discarding a lot. And you can manage their board at the same time. It is very oppressive, very oppressive. And let's say you want to protect your board against this thing, and let's say you choose not to swing with your board so you can go for one big swing at the end. No. Not happening, because they have cards like Kawina, which rest one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 4 or less. They have this, which rest up to one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 6 or less. They have this. You rest 3 of your Don plus the 1, that's 4. Rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters or Don cards. They are resting whatever they want, and you are copying these hits from Zoro. That's just how they play. Accept it. You need to play around this. Very hard to play around this. They also have some really cool cards in there. This blocker, which is hard to remove, just like the Tashigi is. You've got this one here that can deal with 1-cost characters, which is underrated card, I believe. You've also then got these other effects like this Cavendish and like this Mihawk, which are just cheating out Don each turn. This Mihawk is pretty gross in general. So this Mihawk, I think, is going to be a feature in every green deck, pretty much every green deck in OP12 onwards. On play, it's a blocker. On play, set up to 4 rested Don cards as active. You spend 8. You get 4 back. It basically costs 4 for an 8,000 power blocker. That's insane, right? You then can't play a character with an original cost of 7 or more during that turn. Let's say you got 10 Don. You play this for 8, you restand 4. You got 6 Don. You're probably not going to be playing a 7 cost anyway. It is a null effect. Like, you have to be then, swinging with Cavendish to then get another 8 cost. I mean, I think this effect is in place, so you can't cheat out another Mihawk. That's essentially it. Other than that, this card is busted. Another card that you really need to know with this deck, and it is a bit of a win con here, is this card here. Costs 3, restand your leader. This thing is then swinging into your characters twice, or your characters once and your leader twice. Very strong stuff. Let's check out our next leader. All right, now the last leader I want to talk about here is Sanji. Sanji, very odd leader, very unique leader. He has 2 effects: activate main once per turn, don -1, activate up to 1 straw hat type card, event card, from your hand with an original cost of 3 or less. Important number. So you -1 don, you play a 3 cost for free. Well, for the cost of -1. But you don't pay any additional for this card. Really strong stuff here. Now, his other effect. When attacking, if the number of don cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, add basically ramp 1 don card. Rested. So you -1 don to play this out, and then you attack with this to get that don back. Essentially is how it goes. You get to play something that costs 3 or less for free. Our options are very limited in what we can play, but even a 1 cost event is still free. So pretty good, right? Pretty good. This is a generically good effect, and I think this leader is going to continue to get stronger as the game continues to advance and we get access to other 3 cost, and I feel like 3 cost in particular, 3 cost Straw Hat event cards. Straw Hat being the biggest archetype in the game, we're going to see more of them. Now, currently this deck, it centers around a mechanic which I don't feel is the best. I don't know if this is going to be the best way to play the deck, but it's currently the best way people are playing the deck. And that is around this Sanji here. This Sanji is a 3 cost, 5,000 power. This character gains 1,000 power for every 5 events in your trash. I think this is too much. As in, I don't think this is too big of an effect for a character. I think this cost of 5 events for 1,000 power is weak. It is pretty poor. You compare it to Burgess, which Burgess gets the 1,000 for every 4 cards in your trash. Much easier to attain. Say you've got 20 cards in your trash as Burgess. Well, then you've got plus 5,000 power. He's a 10,000 power character for 20 cards. And that's pretty easy to achieve, around that turn 6, right? You do that with Sanji, and he's only a 9. And I feel like that's a little bit short for what you're trying to do. But the other thing is, it's not any card in your trash. It has to be events. And fair enough, he's not a black leader. He shouldn't be centered around trash. But at the same time, if you're gearing your deck around this one card, it's going to have a lot longer to get there than a deck that's running Burgess. This is what I'm saying. Centering around your deck around this is going to put you at a bigger detriment than playing a Blackbeard at the moment. Now we do have another card which has a similar effect, and this is Reiju here. Now Reiju is, if your trash has 4 or more event cards, that's a better number. This card gains 2,000 power and plus 5 cost. This, in my opinion, is actually a much better card than this Sanji, and I mean, it's a SR. It should be better. It's also a blocker, so it becomes a 7,000 power blocker really easily. And I think without this, your deck is not going to be in a great place. Everything else that you're trying to do here is trying to get the cards cycled through to the trash, or we're trying to have some Don left over at the end of our turn, or we are KOing. This card is pretty cool because when you minus a Don, you get to KO a 2 cost or less. Leader can minus a Don every turn. Great, we can take care of small fry. That's what Sanji loves to do, takes care of small fry. This is what the deck's trying to do. We run all these low costs here. We run these. We can cycle through, find more, cycle through, find more, cycle through, find more. You know, bump back to hand, minus so we can hit with small characters. Essentially, we run our first few turns to rely on this. And as a whole, I don't like it. I don't think it feels good because you're putting yourself behind for a suboptimal effect. That's my take. Do check out the game though. The game does show how he operates. I think he is fun as a way to play. I think the deck as a whole needs a complete revamp, and I think it's going to take a different card to come into the scene to be able to be really effective and then to shape around that as opposed to the Sanji. Anyway, that's my take on this deck. That's sort of how it operates. I put in a lot more zero costs compared to what well-performing decks are doing. The reason being was because you're running so many events, you don't have a lot of counter, and a lot of these aren't counter events anyway. So except for the giant, which then you're just reducing all your Don down to nothing. Because you don't have that counter, I thought, well, let's use this. With one of these cards, we can put 2 events in our trash in one hit. I think this is a good play. So that was sort of my reasoning around that. Anyway, let's jump into some games. So all the games, as I said, I'll put the deck list right before the game starts and you can check out those decks. They'll also be in the description, so feel free to go through those. Let's jump in to the first game now. All right, Rayleigh Zoro. Let's go first. This is good. Let's keep this. All right, we're going to do Buggy is good. We've got no events. I think we'll do Buggy first. Really like Buggy in general. I'll grab this one. Grab that one. End turn. Next turn. We've got our 2 events, so we can show those to beef up this one. Yeah, Rayleigh, I feel like he's a very traditional way to play the game. Very interesting leader as a whole. Do like what it's doing. Didn't like it when I first saw it, but once all the cards came out, you could see what it's trying to do, and it's not too bad. It's actually not too bad. So look for a Luffy here. No Luffy. This is a Straw Hat card. I think we'll grab Sanji instead. And then we'll play this Sanji. And we will show 2 cards here. We'll show this one and this one. And then attack here. And the reason why we're attacking with this is they cannot attack our Buggy. This character cannot be KO'd when battling / attribute characters or leaders. So, from memory, it is only the Perona that they have in the deck that is a slash. Oh, sorry, that isn't a slash. So, really cool. Really cool. I guess they can just KO the Buggy though. Okay. I sort of see why this card is now in there. I sort of see it now. Take that. Surprised he didn't attack in here first. Anyway, not to worry. We will play this. How do we do this? Don't want to reveal that. Can reveal these two still. Throw it on Nami. One in here. Just trying to do max chip damage at the moment. The more cards I can get rid of, the better. And the more cards I have turned to the side, the less swings at life. Sort of the game plan at the moment. Now, this on here, I'm going to do this. Although I don't have two rested, so misplay. That was a misplay. Should be swinging 7 right now. But this will just be a 1 card. We probably could have taken an additional card here. Or 2 from here. So, another misplay there. You may add 1 card from your life area to your hand. This character gains 2,000 power during this turn. Then, give this character up to 2 rested Don cards. So, if I had played this out first, I could have had 7 here. Didn't matter there. Okay, showing that they don't really have any counter. That's crazy. So I imagine they're going to play something like the Tashigi this turn, the 5 cost. Very strong card, that card. Very strong card. Okay, hitting into this one first. They recognize threat. Take that. Don't want to give us anything by swinging into this one. And we can't boost this one up either, so pretty smart play in general. And I can boost this up, so that's why I protected it. And taking this one. Alright, so we will mulligan this away. We need a 6,000 power to mulligan. I'm first going to reveal the mulligan in this. Give the extra buff to Nami here. We mulligan this one. We attack 5. No. I think we just clear the board here. And then do 2 6s, dropping this Nami. Let's drop Sanji instead. Let's do a 5 here. And then we'll do a 6. And then Sanji. This is all looking really good into this deck. Quite impressive how strong this leader is. I'm not going to lie. Very impressive. Now, 5,000... 7. So we can't take out this card here. We lose this. This is fine. And I don't think we've got a way of negging There is an event I think might... The Gatling one, I forgot if that negs. Alright, let's see what we can do here. This will certainly help. Are we trying to push for game this turn? Is the question. Are we trying to push for game this turn? We show 2 events. I don't have the one that gets through blockers. This one could be... That's crazy. This one can get up to 9,000 just by taking a life here. We'll have a look. No events from that one. Put that back. Try again. Or do we just try and push? I think we just try and push. Gonna start small here. They take that. 2. Three becomes a 6. Wait, do we have the... Attach one of your 1,000. So we do this one. Wait. You may attach 1 active Don card to your Silver's Rayleigh. Like that. And then this. Yeah, that didn't work out. That didn't work out how I intended. This is not going to bode well for us. And they're baiting us into it, but we got to do it. Gotta do it. 9K. Three cards will do it. And we got through. We did get through. Okay. That's Rayleigh into Zoro. Not the most impressive performance, but I think it shows the strength of this deck at a, entry level. It is quite strong. Quite strong. So really interesting. Really interesting. I'll have to play around with this more. It's not my style. I don't enjoy this style of deck. I'm not really... I don't know. I don't like those chip damages. It just feels like it's... You throw everything on the board. You do these funny Don shenanigan, life buff shenanigans to just keep on attacking. Not exactly my style of play, but a really important deck to understand because I think it is not meta defining, but it's certainly meta relevant. So, important deck to learn. Let's have a look at our next leader. All right, we've got the big one. Zoro here into Sanji. None other than Sanji. This is the battle everyone's been waiting for. Now, I like what we've got going on here. I think we keep. Sort of don't like that turn 2 play, but we'll see what we draw. Okay. All right. Actually, we're going second, so we still have a turn 2 play anyway. We'll grab this Toshigi is great. We'll grab a second one. Ending turn. Now, as long as we've got 3 Don on our leader, we can do our double attack thing. Very strong effect. One of the strongest effects on a leader I think we've seen. Other than that Blue Pepper Luffy that just draws infinite cards. All right. We take this on. All right, this is a good card. Let's do this one. I'm just going to attack light here. Try and take a card from hand. That's a good one. And play this out. Alright, so if your leader has a slash attribute, which ours does, this character cannot be KO'd in battle by slash attribute cards. They deal with that one. I think this Zoro is more of a mirror match kind of play. That if you got the Zoro into the mirror, which you'd expect a lot, then it's a good card to stick around and keep hitting. Alright, now I think we just take this as well. Right, now we're at the fun end here. We're at the fun end. This card isn't getting its full effect just yet. Not getting the full effect, but we will do it anyway. We'll rest this and throw 3 Don on here because we can. And then attack in here. One more because we can't do anything with it. And attack in here. End turn. So we should be able to keep their board fairly clear from here on. Okay, this is the problem card. This is the problem card, and I think they were waiting for us to play this out before they played this one out. Because we did show them, we searched for this, they knew that we had it. What they didn't know is that we already had it. So, that is another good card, actually. This is another really good card. Because we can rest all this stuff here. What we're going to do though is we're going to play out a second one of these and rest this and put 3 Don on here. We're then going to do another Don. Just one more. Attack in here. Ooh, okay. On 7 now. On 7. So that is not great. We still take a card here. I swing. I'm going to play down this card. I think that's important. Play this. Swing here. Well, it actually counted out of that. I'm surprised that they counted out of that. So I'd imagine a Reiju or another Sanji to come down. It's kind of important that they get there. So many cards in their trash here. They're really burning through their deck here. Really burning through it. We counter out of this. Wouldn't usually do that to Cavendish. Such a strong card, but such a necessary action here. All right. I think we just force them to use their giant again, I guess. I play this. Wait, set up to 4. Yeah, sorry. Set up to 4, not attach 4. And then we just go all in on this, I guess. Yeah. They do a giant, which they don't get their effect on opponent's turn. We then attack in at this. Attack in again. They're running out of cards. It's pretty crazy. Restand. Attack in again. Okay. Really, really short on their hand. I'm not sure. I don't know if I like this style. We will be doing Sanji next though, so I will let you know if I like it after that. All right, I think we can afford to defend this one. Yeah. Hitting in here, we counter out. Yep. All right, didn't get those. Didn't get the play I was going for. I think though, if we do say 5 onto this and swing in here, it puts him into an awkward situation. Where we could finish them. I think with 3 9s to, yeah, I think we should be able to finish this. No, not quite. Not quite. This gets through. We attack with this. If we attack with this, even better, we attack with this. And if they giant, and now they can't giant. So game. Yeah, they really burned through their deck and didn't get much out of it. I feel like 33 cards here and it's plus 4,000. Compare that to a Burgess. Burgess does, like if you're going for that sort of effect, Burgess does it so much more effectively. We'll have a look at Sanji next up because I think that's important and I love to contrast Zoro versus Sanji. Let me know in the comments, whose camp are you in? Are you a Zoro fan or are you a Sanji fan? Which one is the better hand of Luffy? Let's jump into Sanji now. All right, Sanji into pudding here. actually going to keep this one. So we're going second. We can do some searches here. And the idea of this deck is essentially get as many events into here as possible. We'll grab the pudding here and we'll do one more. Looking for a Sanji. I guess we'll just grab the pudding. We'll grab the pudding. And we do get through the deck quite quickly with all these searches anyway. So everything we put down right now, we'll probably see again anyway. Can get out of this. And I will. Just because we have access to a card. I think it's Culverin. Oh no, it might be the other one. There's another one, a new one. I can't remember the name of it. But there is another card. This one. This is the one I'm talking about. We'll grab that. And we will actually use that because I can -1 here, play this out, draw 2 cards because we had less than 6 from doing that effect. And then we will attack. Gain 1 rested. And 10. Alright, so we got 5 events in trash. So our Sanji is boosted now. We just take this one. Another Sanji. Do we want to do something about this? Here's the question. I don't think we're too worried about this just at the minute. I think we'll play this. Play one of these. Can't grab Reiju. Want Reiju. Play another one of these. Grab a Sanji. I think I'll play a Sanji. So I'll... Before I do that, what are we on here? So if we have 6 or less, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if I play this, draw 2 cards, attack to ramp. Sequencing is super important in this deck. They 1k out. And they take this on. Not sure. 2 1s they don't take. 1 2 they do. Okay, alright. 1 2, so they use that. End turn. Yeah, so what I meant when I said 2 1s they don't take. 2 1s they take the life. 1 2 they don't. Which is what happened. Alright, we counter out of this one. We take this one. Big Mum. Big Mum, big problems. Okay. We need the Reiju. Need to do something about this as well. So... Wait, every 5. Sorry, every 5. So we just need 1 event in our trash. We just need 1 event in our trash. Yep. We attack this one. Get rid of this thing. Would love to raid you, but more than that, like to get rid of this thing. The question is, from here, do we attack into this or do we attack into this? I think we starve them out here. I think that is the best play. And we can do it, actually. -1. -3 from this one. Yeah, that's going to hurt. That is going to hurt. We should be able to take this quite easily. Yep. What a turn. What a turn. A big mum could change this. And it's gearing up that way. Gonna 2k out of this one. Save giant for next turn. Ooh, okay, okay. Kata? Yep. Nice play. Nice play. We get this down. We 4 and we 3. How many do we have here? 1, 2. 2 that aren't. So that's 11. We'd need 4 more. We're not going to do that. We play this. We play 2. I think we just do a 5 here. And I did make a sequencing error here, because it means we can't play this and get a Don back. But it may have been necessary in order for that to go through. So what we want to do now is attack 8s. That is big. That is actually pretty big. I'm not sure that I'm going to play this now. I think all I'm going to do is 4 on here, leave 1. So I need 5. Let's see what this does. They're going to use 2 2s. Yep. All right. Raid you down. End turn. They're going to want to attack into these Sanjis. They're going to have these available at the end of the turn. If they big mum now, I think they're going to big mum. We take this. So if they do big mum, they've got no effect. Do they just load up? They just load up. Okay. Okay. We could be good here. We've got a lot. 2 Don. Drop this. Gain 2. Two. That was insane. That was this is the reason why everyone wants giant banned. Like, that should not have happened, right? And to get the 2 2Ks, that was a lucky draw. That was really a lucky draw. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. What are we going to do here? We're pushing for game. We must have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6. Yeah, 6, 15. Okay, so we're not going to push any more than we've got on this right now. I think they're going to get past anything here. We do 2 on this. Essentially, they need to do block with this, lose 2. Block with that, lose 2. I think we have the maths out right now. Unless they just take it, which they should do with this again. But even still, this is a 7. That's 13. I mean, 8 here. 1, 2. I don't think they've got 8. They need 9. They need 9. I don't think they can. Ooh, okay. That's a bad move. Yeah, because we just split here and win the game. There is Sanji. That is how Sanji plays. It is an interesting deck. Very interesting deck. It should only get stronger. Maybe weaker if Giant gets banned, but I like how it plays. I don't think it is strong enough at this point in time. I think he can high roll and go really well, but I don't think this Sanji gets tall enough to be the big bad of the deck, and it doesn't really have any others that become a big bad. I feel like Reiju is possibly stronger than this card. Not because it's got, like, this has a higher ceiling, yes, but this one achieves its own ceiling so much easier. And it's got a 1k counter. I actually value this one a little bit more. This does make it difficult for your opponent to remove it though. So I don't know. Let me know, out of these 3, which was your favorite deck? Out of the 6 that we've shown across the 2 videos, which leaders are you most excited for to play in tournaments? Which ones are you most excited to play at a locals level? What ones are you just excited for in general? Let me know in the comments. I'm really looking forward to OP12. I feel like it's got a lot of good things going for it. A lot of freshness that it's going to bring to the game as a whole. Looking forward to it with you guys. Until next time though, look after yourselves and look after your decks.